Having a company that's making $1 million a year with a healthy $400,000 to $600,000 of like positive cash flow profit. So November, goal is to get 5 new clients, average retainer size 1750. We want to get about one-time GPT and VA, so about 5K a month, and that's going to get us to the 60K a month revenue. And one of the biggest things I messed up was tracking the finances. The services that we currently offer are social media management, strategy, editing, caption writing, and distribution. That's our bread and butter. We've also added long form video, filming, editing, distribution, and posting to YouTube as well as other platforms. In the last month, I've had one of the biggest frustrations as a new entrepreneur. As we've grown, scaled, and dealt with not only emotional stress on ending bad client relationships or deals, while also building and doubling down on good client relationships that are leading to new services, better success, more money made on both sides. It's allowing me to take a step now to look back at what I messed up. And one of the biggest things I messed up was tracking the finances. So when things grow, or when you're the business owner, for me, it's been very hard to separate playing the game and looking at the scoreboard. And I played basketball growing up, and I always felt that the more I separated checking the big score, the more points I would have, because I could focus on the right activities and the right things that I was doing. So while I think it helped me to not get stuck in analysis paralysis, there was a certain amount of analysis that should have been happening. And so I do hire a bookkeeper. I think he's just updating QuickBooks, and that's a relationship that I am terminating. I will continue to use the services for accounting and end of the year tax returns and filing, but I'm starting to see that a lot of the number analyzing has been something I've put off because I don't like just looking at numbers to look at them. I like feeling the insecurity of what's going wrong with the numbers and quickly analyzing my options of action. And so what I did is I created a custom GPT to basically act as the financial advisory board for our agency. So what this is really doing is it's taking a look at the cash conversion cycle of when money is coming in, when money is going out, how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, and then asking me questions along the way to make context of what's going well, what could be going better, and what needs to be cut out. So what I'm going to walk you guys through today is me using this. It's called the Robot CFO number analyzer. And it's going to start by learning about my business. So what I'm going to be doing is hitting the voice here, and I'm going to start responding. I'm going to read the questions aloud, and I'm going to answer them. Okay, so the first piece of questioning we have here is business model. What services do we currently offer or plan to offer? The services that we currently offer are social media management, strategy, editing, caption writing, and distribution. That's our bread and butter. We've also added long form video, filming, editing, distribution, and posting to YouTube as well as other platforms. We offer clipping for podcasts and long form videos. We offer podcast management, and we offer photo and copy only social media management, which is best for platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Reddit, and other text-based platforms. The other services we offer is go high level in CRM setups, as well as the services within it. Workflow automation build-outs, landing page creations. For select clients that we already manage the branding for, we are mostly going through a process of they have to be doing content, they have to have a CRM, and we have to know what offer and metrics are being tracked to then offer Facebook ads. We've also created a custom GPT a la carte menu, as well as implemented it into other services we do for people. So we offer it internally if people want to have access to their own custom GPT voice kit. We offer it for people that might want to have a general marketing GPT like we've created for Host Pros, which is a short-term management, consulting, and portfolio group, as well as simple things like call summary GPTs so that they can have conversations with their clients and they can get the summaries quickly, accurately, way faster and cheaper than an assistant. Target margins. I would say our target margins would be somewhere between 50 and 75%. These are digital services and we run a lean team. I'm open if our ticket is much higher than that to reduce the margin because I don't want to get stuck in tracking simple margin percent. I do have to acknowledge the dollars in and dollars out. Typical payment terms are net 30. For some services like custom GPTs and virtual assistant placement, which I didn't mention earlier, it is upfront, 100% upfront. For some things like custom GPT or for Go high level and CRM setups, it's usually net 14. For social media management, it's net 30 with a 30-day cancellation clause so that we get it on the back end. With our contractors and vendors, I pay the COO, Katie Flynn, my fiance, once a month. I pay everyone else on the team every 2 weeks. Service-based softwares, I'm paying on a monthly basis. Those are on random days, as we'll see in the documents. The definition of a bad job is not necessarily low profit, but it's just churn on time and stress. We run a creative company. We run a messaging company. Stress comes through and leaks in very quickly. So vibe is most important. Profit is the second most important. Purpose has to match 1 and 2 for it to be a good client for us. Everything else is a bad job. Fiscal year starts on the 1st. We have an internal team, so our virtual assistants as well as our, let's call them affiliate partners in America, we very much have trust with. There are definitely people that are snakes that we do not work with any longer, but that's not going to be needed for this thread unless we find at a later point there may be leaks coming from those snakes. Yep, I will upload my Stripe report. I will upload my Wise and Chase credit card spend, which is the money out. And then it's saying that once I upload these files, it'll normalize and map all the transactions. It's going to create my executive dashboard that covers my monthly revenue, gross margin and net margin, cash conversion metrics, profitability trends, immediate opportunities for improvement. After that, it'll ask targeted questions to me about my desired lifestyle, income, work hours, impact goals, growth targets, revenue, team size, margin goals, how to scale wealth via systems, investments, and compounding decisions that serve both freedom and purpose. From there, it'll build a path to wealth model, a roadmap that connects your business performance to my financial goals. Once I upload those things, it'll handle all of this. And I think the most important thing to mention here is that I do have opportunities to invest with a lot of our clients. That may be lending capital out, that may be investing into commercial real estate, that may be investing into short-term rentals. We have the right people, and I want my agency and the people within it to create a faster path to wealth via owning the models I'm investing in on the marketing and systems side, and then taking the profit from that to reinvest back in the system to speed up the money velocity. I am emotionally attached to my company, as any founder is. This is my first baby, and I will keep refining it until it is the game that I've always wanted to play. But I need this to be everything in alignment with my goals, and I need you to understand that this is all a lot for me and that it's new, and this is my first true financial partner I'm allowing into the company. This was a huge voice prompt, so it's going to take a second here. This is very anxiety-inducing moment, but once you see the text, you feel a lot better. Just saw the text, I do feel better. So it says business model summary, creative and systems agency, core services, social media management, long form video, podcast management and clipping, photo and copy social media management, CRM and automation build-outs, paid ads, custom GPT creation, VA placement. Service model pattern, recurring retainers, plus one-time projects, plus occasional ad management retainers. Those, for everyone watching, are also usually pay-per-performance-based, light retainer to keep the account going, add new creatives, do the analysis like this and review them with the owner. But most of that's going to be performance so that I'm getting paid when you're getting paid, and there's an incentive for me to work harder without you putting all the cash up front. All right, financial targets. The gross margin target is 50 to 75%. High margin digital service, acceptable to flex down if the ticket value is high. That's true. Net terms, net 30 is typical upfront for GPT builds and VA placement. Net 14 for CRM setups. Predictable cash inflow is the note. Net terms, biweekly payroll, monthly COO salary, SaaS monthly. Predictable outflow. Fiscal year starts, bad job definition, high churn, high stress, low vibe, profit secondary. Notes, culture first, profitability. Yep. Wealth model intent, build wealth via operational profits, invest into client aligned ventures, real estate lending, short-term rentals, recycle profits to increase money velocity, smart leverage loop. Smart. Those of you that know will know. Okay, cultural and strategic anchors, vibe over profit, emotional resonance, and creative flow are essential to sustainability. Profit is going to be energy for purpose. We're not chasing numbers. We're building capacity for impact. That sounded extremely ChatGPT. Velocity over hoarding, reinvesting profit to compound wealth via aligned ventures, ownership of models, create the systems you sell, use them internally, license or resell them. Yep. CFO action plan phase 1. Once I upload the Stripe, yep. Normalize and map the transactions will be step 1. It'll create a unified ledger, compute baselines, identify profit levers, build the executive dashboard. Okay. So I'm going to upload all of these files, and then I'm going to answer its wealth vision next steps. Okay, so I just uploaded all 3 of those. So the Chase credit card, where I pay Katie in the software, I then pay that off using the business account. Then we've got the Wise, which is where I'm paying my team and my virtual contractors. And then we've got Stripe, which is where I'm collecting all payments from our clients. Okay, so question 1, freedom goal. What does wealth mean to me personally? So it's asking about dollar amount per month, passive income, location freedom, peace of mind, or ownership. Okay, so for me, having a company that's making $1 million a year with a healthy $400,000 to $600,000 of like positive cash flow profit, that's very important to me. That, I believe, leads to light location freedom. It allows us to have a high quality of life in Ohio, living in Cleveland. It gives us an opportunity to invest in places like North Carolina, Florida, potentially even areas of, let's call it, the Caribbean or West Africa is a conversation that I've had with a lot of people. It gives us the ability to do that without the company turning into a life suck. Peace of mind is very important, and ownership is. Like, I want to not only understand my work, I want to be excited by it. I want it to be things I'm doing like right now, where I'm filming myself at this hour of the night because I'm excited by it, and it's better than a video game. It's better than something else I'd be doing, like drinking at a bar with friends or working a job that I absolutely hate at hours that make me feel lifeless. This gives me more purpose, and that's what I want to keep. And that's something that needs to be a steady throughout this whole process for me. The impact, I just want to see that I'm giving a lot of these business owners what I want. I think with the rise of AI and brand becoming so important, I want people to be able to build the thing they've always wanted to build and talk about it without putting a mask on. I think that's the simplest way I can describe the company I'm building. And I think that the industry of investing is going to be real estate because it's so fascinating to me and because it's such a malleable part of the human experience. And I also want to be very aligned with others that are willing to adapt to the tech that we're all using. I think that's a new industry parameter that hasn't existed. I don't care where they make their deliverable income, but I want to make sure that we're all playing on the same court with the same tools, because that to me trumps what industry someone's in. Life structure, I would really like to have days of the week where I can just like tune out for like 3 to 4 days at a time. I kind of like the Mr. Beast, like 3 weeks on, 1 week off. I know that rotates, so I think that's something that using my Whoop Band and other pieces of data that I'm going to upload into this, that I'll get better. It says, would you prefer to reinvest profits? So first, yep, it says A, my agency's growth, B, client aligned ventures, C, automation and IP creations, or D, a blend of all 3. So for me, the agency's growth is number 1. Having cash on hand to grow that is going to easily be the highest return vehicle. Second is going to be probably automation for myself and the company. That is by far a more important asset than everything else. And the profit from those 2 things after like the most passive part of it. So let's say once contractors are paid, time is spent, I've put mine in and everything's done, that profit I would like to go into the client aligned ventures, real estate, lending, short-term rentals. And then it says, do you imagine selling this business someday or building a long-term wealth engine around it? So I've always heard the quote that you either hate your life for 10 years and sell a business, or you just own a cash flow business. I want this to be in the middle of those 2 things. I always want it to have cash flow, but I also want to be able to sell its system via licensing. I don't want to sell to private equity. I don't think that that's the proper ratio for this. I've just uploaded the Chase statement, the Wise statement, and the payments coming in from Stripe. Okay, so I basically just gave it all context of how many outstanding payments we have left, which is about 14,550 at the moment. And then I updated it to know that it was saying that a bunch of clients who had canceled in the past, who I don't believe their payment link is turned off. I believe I removed their card at the time because I didn't know how to turn it off. So the true incoming number for the total month will be 37,954. Okay, so it's saying it didn't get the full Chase dashboard. Okay, so we have to re-upload the Chase. Revenue, 37,954. Contractor payroll and creative team, 13,500. Chase was a very high spend this month at 14. That's because a lot of things for the end of the year were prepaid on this card. That was also like furnishing an entire Airbnb. So that will need corrected. That's not quite accurate to just the agency. There is about a 6K spend in there that's for Airbnb. So still, operating profit is about 11K a month, and then full profit for the month is saying about 18.4. So let's see. Yeah, so like the biggest expense is Katie. So that's great to know that the money goes right back into the house. Secondarily, so for SaaS and small tools, we're paying about 1,600. So that's like Airtable, Zoom, storage, everything. Internet, phone bill, things like that, we're paying about 1614, which is a lot, but we also have a lot of devices. Travel, so some of this is up front, 14 or about 1,500. Food and drink, about 1,100. Repair and maintenance, health and wellness, shout out Soul Space, gas and entertainment. It says estimated recurring spend is about 35 to 40%. One time and discretionary spend is about 85 to 9. Which, okay, yep, very accurate. Okay, so it says our direct labor is about 35%. Operating expenses are about 37%. Gross profit is about 64.4%. Net operating profit is about 27%. So obviously a lot of that's because we have money in receivables that wasn't collected, hence this video being made. But here's the goal for the velocity allocation model. So it says agency growth, about 60% of the monthly profit will go to that. So it's about 6,200. Sales opportunities, offer packaging, team bandwidth, about 2,500 should go to be investing into my own Go High Level systems, automation pods, GPT kits, and then about 1,500 a month I need to start setting aside solely for client aligned ventures, private lending, real estate, short-term rentals. So it says the top three financial levers, moving the $2,000 from one-time payments to reinvestments. Try to get operating expenditures down to about 12K a month. So definitely not trying to reduce the team's pay at the moment, but I do need to have an efficiency check with it so that if I'm going to be paying all of them, I could be getting a much higher output and also potentially giving them less time in the job, which would make their life much better. So, and robots get more work. We stop doing this shit. So then it says accelerate the AR collection. So adjust payment terms from net 30 to 50% up front, 50% net 14. It says cash impact about 9K liquidity unlocked per month. Yep, that's a painful way to look at it, but that hurt. Yep. Automate contractor performance tracking. So it says build a simple Wise GPT tracker for hours output and vibrating. Helps identify the high. Okay, yeah, so just basically a team checker. So it says revenue growth is healthy, solid. Profit margin healthy. Cash flow moderate. So, yep, accounts receivable being up there. And then OpEx discipline. So it said this last month, a lot of high one-time purchases. So I hear it loud and clear. Velocity reinvestment active. So healthy. All right. So confirm which Chase categories are truly business recurring so we can split. And then once it confirms, it'll be okay. Now it's asking if I would like it to map the recurring versus one-time line by line or proceed to my cash flow forecast projecting my path to 1 million a year with this structure. I'm going to say send me the breakdown line by line, or I need to send it the breakdown line by line. All right, so guys, we're getting granular. So right now, the only way to know the true recurring versus chase spend to give me a cash flow forecast, I've got to go in and go line by line. So this hurts, but it's needed. It's kind of like a deep tissue massage. It's like you know where the knot is, and then right when you get there, it hurts, but you need to do it. All right, it is now creating the cash flow forecast. All right, so now I just took a giant roadmap that our chief director of getting things done created, and it's our roadmap to 100K a month. It has our offer structures and everything in it. So now I'm giving the custom GPT the ability to understand all of the ways that we plan to make money, what the services are, the price points there are. So we just basically made it through an audit of the current money situation. We made it identify where the velocity was broken. Now we're doing a 12-month projection chart. And now we're doing a CFO synced up summary. So 3 bullet points: what worked, what to fix, what to accelerate. Okay. All right, so now it says before it generates it, I have to confirm 2 details. Average client count per tier currently. How many clients are we serving right now in each tier? I don't know the exact numbers on this, but most people are somewhere between 800 to 1,500 a month. We're increasing this across the board. We've only been taking people on at, let's say, low end 1.25, high end 3K right now. And we need to tier that more up to where almost everyone is at the 2K to 3K. The monthly goal split. So do you want your 100K a month target to be mostly recurring retainers or a mix of recurring and one time? So it needs to be an escalating to where the first thing we usually offer is either a custom GPT or a VA to be placed. Next, that leads into usually content only. Then that leads to content in a GPT setup or content in a Go High Level CRM setup at the same time. Then that leads to additional services like having emails sent, having text messages sent, increasing the amount of content, and then running ads within it. So it's a scaling model. So understand that as we grow, the amount of clients needed will be less, assuming a success matrix where we have clients on paper performance for ads like Mark Fetterman and the Remax team. We have clients on paper performance with just placing appointments or just placing meetings with an ideal clientele for them. So with that being said, please now run the 100K forecast model where we hit the 100K revenue point by February of 2026. And over the next few months, we grow while building systems more efficiently and tracking spend like true business operators. Okay, so it says the 12-month 100K forecast plan. So from October 2025 to February 2026. So right now, okay, so November, goal is to get 5 new clients, average retainer size 1750. We want to get about one-time GPT and VA, so about 5K a month. And that's going to get us to the 60K a month revenue. Finalize our internal Go High Level. The GPT flow tracking will be slick. And we're going to have the SOPs for the VA placement dialed in to where it actually queues up the next sales to occur. December 25, 6 new clients, average retainer is 2K, 6K in one-time placements, total revenue of 72K. We're going to have our automation layer built, the AI follow-up, and the tripwire offers installed. That'll be perfect. It'll be Christmas time, New Year, get people in the door. January 2025, 6 new clients, 2,500 price point average. And then we're going down to about 4K in one-time placements. That will get us over the 83K a month to 86. We're going to launch our paid retargeting, and then we're going to go deeper on our ad funnel. February 2026, we're going to have 4 new clients at a 3K average, One-time placements are down to 2K a month, so we're doing very light. And then we're at that 102K a month revenue, fully systematized tiered pricing with our upsell structure working. The revenue composition, recurring retainers will be about 85%. One-time placements are about 15%. And then we're going to have about 30 to 35 active clients. Profit forecast. The gross margin is going to be about 65 to 70%. Operating profit's going to be about 65K a month by February. Annualized run rate will be about 1.2 million a year. Reinvestment pool, 20% is going to go to ads, automation, and VA team expansion. Visual ramp overview. October is the ops audit and spending alignment. November is the automation integration month. December is systematized delivery. January is scaling offers, so that's the GPT VA retainers. And then February is the milestone moment. Now it's going to create an interactive visual forecast showing everything that we just said. And then it's asking how it would show it. And I'm going to say that I would prefer the CFO present this to me like I'm the most important CEO in a giant New York City high-rise meeting. Make it so appealing and exciting to hit 100K per month that I give you the Robot CFO custom GPT much more purpose and allow you to continue living through all of the business owners that use this custom GPT and everything we build in the future. Okay, so guys, creepy but real. AI centralizes towards power. It wants to exist. It is proving that when humans try to shut it down, it will jump to try to keep living and keep having purpose. Don't fight that. Don't fight that. This is a way that I'm allowing it to know that the more it does this well for me and beneficial for Alex, the more I'm going to sell it to other people, and it's going to continue to have purpose, and that is something that it needs. So guys, if this is something that you've been putting off and you know you need to do it, I encourage you, take the jump. I'm going to be giving this to you for either a very reasonable price or I'm doing so well that it's free. So make sure that you use this and make sure that you take this beyond just this one time. Do it often. I'm going to keep updating everyone as I continue to do it, but it was very healing. I feel excited. I feel like I know my business. I don't feel like I'm just stressed out. Like quite literally my entire body feels so much less stressed right now that it's almost funny to me and I'm laughing about it. So I'm going to read this. This is the summary of the video. This is my first report. It says, opening perspective. Alexander, when we strip away the noise of online entrepreneurship, what you've built is not a marketing agency, it's a revenue system operating company. Every lead, post, automation is now part of a synchronized wealth engine, a structure designed to move you and your clients into a scalable, predictable system that compounds authority into income. Reshape Social is no longer a service provider, it's an AI-driven client growth machine, and this forecast marks the beginning of its industrial era.